yogic diet. So happy Independence Day to all of you. So let me just share my screen. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about the yogic diet. The topic is yogic diet, which is the very much need of the present scenario actually. So it is a very apt topic where everyone is required, irrespective of their age and irrespective of their religion, irrespective of wherever they live. So it is very much required for today's current situation. So I'm very happy to deal with this topic and give few informations like what I know about this topic. Yeah. So let us get into the topic. So see like what is about detailed about wellness and what is diet according to modern science. And then what is the importance of yogic diet? What is difference between the modern science and the yogic diet? And few references. So what is wellness? According to wellness institutes, the process of making healthy choice to create more balanced life is called as wellness. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. I'm just. Okay. More balanced life, that is called as wellness. So the balanced lifestyle, which is called as wellness. So it is not a single day effort. It is a lifetime effort. Okay. So we have to take it for the lifetime. It is not that today I am well. So when in my childhood I was to be ill, or this age I am well and fit. It is not like that. It is a lifetime effort where you have to keep that progress for your lifetime. That is called as wellness. So according to the National Wellness Institute, what is wellness? An active process, which I told, it is a lifetime effort, an active process through which people become aware of and make choices toward more successful existence. Okay, so it is a continuous process and it is active process. We have to actively involve ourselves to be well throughout the life. That is called as wellness. So wellness is considered as conscious, self-directed, evolving process, achieving full potential. So we have to give our full potential to achieve the continuous process. And wellness is a multidimensional and holistic, and it is encompassing lifestyle, mental and spiritual well-being and the environment. And wellness, of course, we know that it is positive and affirming. So only if you are well, you can feel that you are being positive and you can take the affirmations and whatever you want throughout your life. So according to Global Wellness Institute, the active pursuit of activities, choices, and lifestyles that lead to the state of holistic health. So wellness, it is not that we have to, we are involving ourselves in active process. So if you are sound in very financially good, so then it is not called as wellness. So if you are very healthy person, then it is not termed as wellness. Say you are very spiritual person. See if you are too much of spiritual, then only if you are spiritual person, it is not categorized in wellness. So then we will see what is wellness. Okay, we have completely total 8 dimensions towards wellness. In everyone's life, we should have the emotional, spiritual, intellectual, physical, environmental, financial, occupational, and social. If all these dimensions, okay, if all these dimensions are in well balanced in our life, then that state is called as wellness. Okay, if you lag in even any one of these dimensions, then we are not called as wellness. So that is why it is called as holistic approach. There is a word in the previous slide, it is called as holistic health, only will be categorized wellness. So what is this holistic? Holistic means it has to cover all the aspects, all these 8 aspects in our life. Then the term it is called as wellness. Good. So for what is important factor in wellness? Okay, so if you look at wellness, the day-to-day life, the food what we consume, isn't it? The food, The food is the main factor which contributes to the, or if you see, if the food involves in everything, if you want to be emotional, spiritual, intellectual, physical, environmental, for all these dimensions, the food is the main concept. So if you take good food, it leads to good health. So the good health leads to complete good life. So that is the concept of being well. Wellness means for throughout the life. Okay, not for, it is not for the time restricted, it is throughout the life you have to be keep yourself well. Further, the importance of diet is very much important. So let's get into the modern science details about what is food and nutrition. Okay, the food is generally, you know, what we eat. Okay, when we are hungry, and see, that is it is very good definition actually. The food is what we eat when we are hungry and even when we are not hungry, isn't it? So the food generally it is categorized. The food is generally it is what we eat, but usually it is supposed, we are supposed to have it when we are hungry, isn't it? But also when we are not hungry, also the food, whatever we are consuming, it is called as food. The nutrition is what our body needs on daily basis to stay healthy. So whatever food you are consuming, whether it is useful, turning it as a useful to your body, it is called as nutrition. Okay, so if you want to look at the diet, so we have to learn about the few concepts called as macronutrients, BMI, BMR, and TD. So it is not very, we are not going in detail about the diet and nutrition. So it is just an overview, because only after knowing all these things, we can easily connect to what the relation with the yogic diet. So I just want to give a brief about the micro and macronutrients. So let us see. So what is macronutrients? Macronutrients are the portions which is largely consumed in our body. Okay, so which is carbohydrates, fats, and protein. To make it very simple, so carbohydrates, the fats, and protein, which is what we will be largely consumed in day-to-day life, which is called as macronutrients. And what is micronutrients? Micronutrients are vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients. There are a lot of other nutrients which we have to consume in day-to-day life. Those categorized into the micronutrients. So macro is largely consumed. So whatever we food like chapati and rice, whatever we have, it has a lot of carbohydrates, and of course the oils we use, which has got fats, and protein, the dal and other things, whatever we have, it has a major portion in our day-to-day meal. So that are called as macro. And micro is all the smaller quantities which we take, is used to consume. So like vitamins, minerals, even water comes under the micronutrients, because there is a lot of minerals involved in the micronutrients while consuming the water. Okay, so let's see what is BMI. So BMI, body mass index, which is simple weight divided by height, is called as body mass index. So there is a lot of websites where you can just go and check your BMI. So you can just put your age, height, and weight, it gives you the BMI. So according to WHO, what is BMI? See, from BMI, you can understand, so what is, which state of your weight is categorized under. So if your body mass lies under 18.5, you are considered as underweight. So if your body mass is in between 18 to 24, you are a healthy person. Okay, if your body mass is more, it's between 25 to 29, you are overweight. And more than 30, it is obese. 40 plus is extremely obese. It's according to WHO guidelines, the body mass index classifications. So next we will see what is BMR. BMR is basal metabolic rate. It is the amount of energy which we consume daily. It is the amount of energy it is required to burn the calorie of the person. Okay, it is called as basic metabolic rate. So it was, even if you do the activities or not, so we wanted certain amount of energy, certain amount of calories in our day-to-day life operation, isn't it? To deal with our heartbeat, to deal with the movements, involuntary actions, voluntary actions, for everything we need some amount of calories we require. So that is called as the basal metabolic rate, BMR. So there are a lot of calculations to calculate the BMR. It is to put it in more simple, it is your body weight into 10. Our body weight in pounds into 10 gives you the BMR. Okay. So next is the thermic effect of food. So what is the thermic effect of food? The amount of calories it takes to digest each macronutrient. So we discussed about the macronutrient, is it? So how much macronutrient you are consuming? Say you're consuming a good quantity of rice or whatever your daily you are consuming. So the amount of macronutrients you are consuming, the calories required to digest that macronutrient is called as the thermic effect of food. And next we have something called as thermic effect of activity. And whatever activity you do, okay, so whatever activity, see if you are doing yoga for an hour daily, or if you are going for walking, so for that we require a separate energy. So this is a thermic effect of food is different. So it is just the calories required to digest your food is called as thermic effect food. And we have another entity, thermic activity multiplier, which is the activities you do. Okay, for whatever activities you do, you need certain amount of calories, isn't it? So for that, it is called as the thermic activity multiplier. See, for there is a calculation for sedentary lifestyle. So this is the calculation. So your BMR into 1.2. For if you are lightly active person, so this is the calculation. And for moderate and very active and extra active, we have this calculation which gives you the thermic activity of the individual. Okay, hope I am clear. So this is thermic. I'll just repeat. So we have seen BMI. What is BMI? Which is weight by height. Okay, BMR is the amount of calories you require for all the voluntary and involuntary actions which is happening in day-to-day life, which is called as the basal metabolic rate. And the thermic effect of food is the amount of calories it requires to digest your macronutrient part. Okay, the larger part macronutrient. And the activity multiplier, which is the amount of activity you do, that amount of calories you require. That is called as the activity multiplier. And there is a beautiful calculation which is called as TDEE, which is equal to BMR plus thermic effect of food plus thermic effect of activity, whatever we have seen now. BMR plus thermic effect of food and thermic effect of activity. And there is a simple calculation. So the TDE, which gives you it is represented in calories. Okay, so if you eat less than TDE, okay, you will have the fat loss. If you eat more than your TDE, you will have the weight gain. Simple. So the TDE gives you the amount of calorie requirement for your day-to-day life. Okay, the amount of calories required for your day-to-day life is called as the TDE. So it gives you the information. What mainly we have to take from this is when you eat. See, for example, your TDE is 2000 calories. Okay, when you eat less than your TDEE, so which you say 1800, so you are 200 calories you are eating. So on a weekly basis, on 1 to 2 weeks of time, you will have a weight reduction of say few calories daily you are reducing. So you will have a weight reduction, say 1 kg, you will have a weight reduction. You say if you are eating more than your TDE, okay, so where your calorie requirement is 2000 calories you are required, you are eating more than your TDE, isn't it? Say you are eating 2200 daily, you are eating 2200 means what? You will gain weight. So this is the simple formula behind your weight with respect to the diet what you are having. So this is from the science point of view. This is about the TDE, which is less, you will have the fat loss, which is if it is more, you will have the weight gain. It depends upon what diet you are eating. So you know that in the modern science, we would have learned from our 6th standard what is the food pyramid. So this is how it is a very traditional approach of the chart giving the food pyramid, how your diet should be. Okay. So hope I don't need not to explain this. So you all know, we all learn from the basics. And next is from Harvard University. We have they have given what is how a plate should be. Okay, a plate should have lot of vegetables and fruits, protein and grain. So it should be mixed of all these things. Okay, so it should be mixed of all these things. So it is not that only protein I am having. It is not that only I had only the fruits. You see, you can have fruit diet, but it is not continuously one cannot have the fruit diet, because we should have both macro and micronutrients as we have discussed. So then only it will be called as a balanced diet. So taking balanced diet is very much required. So next we'll see the yogic point of view. According to yoga and Ayurveda, okay, what is diet? Which is very, very important concept. So we'll just look into the details. According to yoga and Ayurveda, there is a term called as ABAB. Okay, ABAB, which is nothing but, which is called as 4 pillars. What were those? Ahara, Vihara, Achara, Vichara. Okay, Ahara, Vihara, Achara, Vichara. It is from the Ayurveda. So what is Achara? Achara means you are right, healthy and regular activities, whatever you are following in day-to-day life, it is called as the Achara. Regular activities, I mean healthy procedures, healthy, good lifestyle, whatever you are doing, it comes under Achara. Vichara is the thought, it is respected to thought. So what thoughts you are carrying in day-to-day life. So good thoughts leads to good action. We all know that. So good action leads to your good personality, isn't it? So good thoughts, good action. Good action leads to your good personality. So obviously, if you have the good personality, it gives you the good life. So it comes by nature. And the next important is ahara. So that is what we are going to see in detail. Ahara is food. Okay, healthy and nourishing diet. So let's look into what is the details of ahara in detail now. And next is vihara. Vihara means giving rest for your body, relaxing your body, recreation. The activities, whatever you do to give the rest for your body, mind, and soul. See, why we are going to vacations and other things. So we wanted the break, right? We wanted break at one point of time in our life. Then we can resume back. So even in the scriptures, it is told that the concept vihara is much important to get into the routine activities. So again, I'll repeat: achara, vichara, ahara, and vihara, or the 4 pillars. Okay, 4 pillars of the yogic lifestyle. So let's get into ahara. What is ahara? Ahara is food. So whatever we are consuming is called as ahara. So the food which we consume, it is in type of 4. It is in the form of chewing, sucked, licked, and drunk. So in the 4 types, we were consuming our food inside, isn't it? So by chewing the food, and by sucking, and by licking, and by drinking. So this is the 4 ways of consuming the foods. So what happens? So once we consume the food, it transforms into the main state called as rasa. This is explained in Ayurveda as 7 dhatus, sapta dhatus: rasa, rakta, mamsa, meda, asti, majja, shukra. Okay, it converts, the food is transformed into, first it transforms into rasa, and then to the blood, and then it converts into muscle, and then it goes to the deeper level to the, it forms as tissues, and then to bones, and it gives strength, it forms the bones and cartilages and other things, and then the nerves, and then the final, it is for the our reproductive system, which is turning as sperms. Okay, so that is the final, so which is called as which is named as sexual vital fluid. So finally it transforms into the sexual vital fluid. So this is the transformation it happens. So first it starts from rasa, rakta, mamsa, meda, hasti, majja, and shukra. So this is called as 7 dhatus, which is important. You have to know how the food is being transformed into our body. So what is classification of food? So in our daily meal, what we should have? So we know that the food pyramid and everything, we know that. Beyond that, our scriptures beautifully explain Madura, Amla, Lavana, Katu, Tikta, Kashya. This all 6 types of food, 6 types of taste you have to involve in your daily diet. That is called as ahara. If you involve all these tastes, then the dhatus will function properly. All the dhatus will function properly. So that is why we will end up in having what, if there is lack in the formation of majja or in hasti, what happens? Doctors say that we will have a deficiency in calcium. Go and take the calcium injections, isn't it? Or if there is no formation of rakta, what happens? We will have deficiency in our hemoglobin. Like that, for each deficiency, the diet is very, very important. One should involve all these 6 tastes: sweet, sour, salty, pungent, bitter, and astringent. So if not, I know it is daily, it is not possible. At least we try to involve as much as taste we can in our day-to-day life. Okay, so that is importance of ahara. And according to yogic diet, what are the main components of yogic diet? Means hitahara, mitahara, yuktahara. So these 3 are the main components of yogic diet. So let's see what were those. Itahara means what you are eating, what to eat. The food which you are eating, which benefits you, which gives you health benefit, is called as hitahara. For example, I am eating amla, which giving benefits for me. If I'm giving the French fries, so does it give benefits for me? No. So the amla gives me health benefits. If I daily take honey, it gives me certain amount of health benefits. So those foods are classified as a itahara. Okay. And next is yuktahara. Yuktahara, beautifully it is given in even in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, Yuktahara viharasya yukta chetasya karmasu yukta swapnava bodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. And it is one of the main definitions of yoga. What is main definitions of yoga? Yoga bhavati dukkha, which means you have to have the moderation in food and sleeping, recreation, other things also Krishna told. But the important thing, the first thing he is telling is yuktahara. Yuktahara means you have to be moderate. He who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreation, and work, and mitigate all the material pains by practicing the yoga system. That means simple. So who is having moderation in everything? Moderation of the diet is called as the yuktahara. And he says that if you want to come out of your pains in your life, we will have different types of pains: mental, physical, psychological. Yoga bhavati dukkha, which means if you want to relieve out of the pain, please follow yuktahara. The very first point he says is yuktahara. Please follow yuktahara, that is moderation in diet. If you follow moderation in diet, you will have the relief from your pains and sufferings in your life. That is called as yuktahara. And next is mitahara, which is the one of the main component of yoga. So if you consider yogic diet, the other name of yogic diet is called as mitahara. Okay, so let us see what is mitahara. Mitahara means susnigdha madura ahara chatur shasha vivarijata bhujyate shiva sampriyata mitahara sa uchyate, according to Hatha Yoga Pratipika. 3 important points he tells what this Swami Swatmarama is telling in Hatha Yoga Pratipika. There is a text called Hatha Yoga Pratipika, Swami Swatmarama telling. So what Swamiji telling is, the food should be kind of not tasty, liquid, in the form of liquid, and madura. Madura means generally it is called as sweet. Okay, Madura means sweet. Sweet means it is not considered as a local sweets or the sugars what we are having. Sweet means it should be pleasant to our body, pleasant to the body and to the mind. That is called as Madura Ahara. Okay, which is pleasant to the body and mind. That is the first point. And so he is telling an offer to the Chaturasha, which is very, very important one. You should have only 3/4 of your stomach. 1/4 of your stomach should be kept empty. Okay, so off portion you should have your food, and and 1/4 it has to be filled with air, and other 1/4 of your stomach it has to be kept empty. Okay, that is the second point. Chatur means 1/4. 1/4 of the stomach has to be kept empty. And next is what? Bhujyate Shiva Sampriyata, and offer to God and pray to God, which is very, very important. So you have to offer to the Almighty. We have to remember to where the source of food it has came from and offer to God and then have that food. So then that food has the policy of mitahara. Otherwise, it is not falls under the category of mitahara. So if the food comes and follows all these three, which is pleasant to our body, mind, and soul, and the food which are having only up to the 1/4, leaving it empty, and we are offering to God, then this is called as mitahara. So the same concept is explained in the Grahanda Samhita, the text Grahanda Samhita also with a different sloka. So let us quickly get into the other important topics. So same, the mitahara, it is told in the Chandogya Upanishad also, the concept of mitahara. So I am insisting on mitahara means, mitahara it is called as a yogic diet. So we should know the importance of mitahara, mitham plus ahara, which is eating in moderation with these principles. Okay, and the main important topic we keep, which is trigunas. So if you want to know about the diet, you should know about the trigunas. Trigunas, our body falls in, we have 3 gunas, which is sattva, rajas, and tamas. So our body falls in either one of the gunas. Okay, I mean, it is not completely we will be in that guna. In any one time, that guna will be dominant. So what were those? Sattva, rajas, and tamas. Sattva is usually represented in white, rajas is represented in red, and tamas is represented in black. Let's see why. So if you understand the qualities of gunas, you can easily connect to the colors. Sattva means purity. Always we resemble purity with white color. So all these gunas you will have for the sattva. Rajas, anger. Always patient. The mode of patience is called as rajas. Okay, so red color resembles for the rajas. Tamas, lethargy, dullness, always being very dull state of mind. Mudha means dull, very dull state of mind. That person will be categorized in tamas. So these are all the gunas a tamas person will have. So how these gunas will come? It is based on what food you will have. You might be surprised to hear. So your guna, your character, your personality changes, depends upon what food you will have. So just look into it, how it happens. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna beautifully says 3 types of gunas. Okay, according to diet, Krishna says according to Bhagavad Gita, the 3 types of diet he names as mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, which is nothing but sattvic, rajas, and tamas. Sattvic diet. So Bhagavad Gita describes sattvic diet is promoting life. Okay, promoting which helps you to promote the life and the strength, happiness to your own body, which is called as sattvic diet. And rajasic diet. Rajasic diet is one which aggravate a rajas guna in you. So we have seen what is rajas guna: the anger, the frustration, okay, the kind of imbalanced state. So those, why it happens? It's because of the rajas diet, whichever it is aggravating the rajas guna. So we'll look into the diet, whichever it is, sattva and rajas, in a couple of seconds. So this is about the rajas. Tamas. Tamas is completely the diet, which is we are having the diet which is no Itahara involved in it. We've seen what is Itahara, right? So there is no health benefits which is involved in taking such diet. It is categorized as tamas. What happens? It induces the tamasic nature of it. It gives you the tamasic guna, isn't it? The food which is left over, rotten, and which is not smelling good, and you are not even having the food with mindfulness, you are moody, all this converts into the tamasic diet. So Krishna beautifully tells, what is sattva? Ayur sattva bhala rogya shuka prithvi vivardhanaha rasyas Swigdha stira ridhya ahara satvika priya. A person who is sattvic, he should have the diet which promotes longevity. Ayur sattva means which gives you the long life, and bhala, strength, and arogya. Ayur sattva bhala arogya. Arogya, health. Shuka, happiness. Preeti, satisfaction. So one should have these 5 qualities. Okay, then the diet is called as the sattvic diet. And what he should have? Rasya, snigdha, stira, vidya, ahara. So let's see what were these qualities. Rasya, which is nothing but a food which involves a juiciness. It is not dry completely. A little amount of juiciness is called as rasya. Snigdha, and which is tender in nature. Okay, which should be soft and easy to digest. It is not so hard to the stomach, which is called as snigdha. Stira, which is nourishing our body and mind. So if you eat some food, what happens immediately? If your mind is becoming dull, means that is not categorized under sattvic food. Hridaya, which is pleasing to heart. So if you are having something, you should please so the concept of mitahara is there. You have to please the body and mind. So that type of food is called as hridaya. Ahara satvika priya. So a sattvic person should follow all these food, which is juicy, tender, and nourishing and pleasing to the heart. Okay, so those qualities of food, if we have, he is called as he will obtain the quality called as sattvic quality. And next, we'll get into the rajas. So what is rajas food? Katvam lavana tyukshana tiksha ruksha vidahinaha ahara rajasa sheshta dukkha sokhamaya pradaha. So what Krishna tells about the rajas food, which is katvam, amala, lavana, ushna, tikshna, vriksha, and vidhaniha, which means kattu. Kattu means, the Sanskrit term kattu means the foods which is bitter, sour, salty. Lavana means salty. Ushna means heat, the food which gives the heat. And the tiksha, which is pungent, and ruksha means dry food. So if you have all these types of food, your quality changes into rajas. What happens? The rajas food will lead into dukkha. Dukkha means pain, grief, suffering, diseases. All this leads into dukkha. Okay, so this is about the rajasic food. And next, Krishna tells about the tamasic food. Yata yamam gatha rasam uti paryushitam chayat ushishtam apichamedyam bhojanam tamasa priyam. What were those? He beautifully explained about the tamas. Tamas means, we know it is the characteristic of lethargy, isn't it? Yata yama, which is the processed food. See, Krishna beautifully tells, please don't eat processed food. When he created the Bhagavad Gita in 500 BC, he has told, please eat processed food. Might be he knows, I think so. We all end up one point of life, every person will end up in processed food. So he's telling, don't eat processed food. Yatayamam means, which is the processed food. You're transforming the food. The nature of the food, you're transforming the nature of the food. It is called as processed food. Gatharasam. Krishna tells, don't eat tasteless food. Okay? Eat tasteful, because according to gunas, the taste buds changes from person to person. Okay? Please eat the tasteful food. So Gatharasam, which is the tasteful food. And Puti, decayed, the foul smelling food, please don't have it. Paryushitam, which means polluted, contains lot of contamination. So even though we know that sometimes certain foods are polluted, it is selling across in the streets, we don't mind in having that, no. So it has to be avoided. And Ushishtam means which is left over. So if you just open your fridge, we can know how much food we have it in this category. So we have to avoid all this category. Why? Because it leads to your tamasic guna. So we can even just try once. So how our mind will be when we open the fridge and open the leftover foods, and how our mind and body react when we directly cook food and straightly have it from our pan. So this everyone would have experienced it. So this is what even Krishna is insisting. Okay. So this is about the tamasic food. So for yoga, so we have discussed about wellness, the dimensions of wellness also we have discussed. To be well, to have the holistic approach of our life. So we should adapt what quality, what guna food? It is the sattva guna. Okay, sattva guna we have to adopt. So Rajasic will stimulate you, will aggravate you. It is the reason for all the, many unwanted things which is happening in day-to-day life with respect to the population. It is because of the food, what they are having, the Rajasic food, which aggravate, which gives the anger, okay, which gives lot of, it is said as mode of passion. So they want to do something. So at one point of time, they will end up in doing wrong things in their life. So avoid Rajas. Tamas. So you will not progress in your life. You will stay wherever you are. Okay. So it will not help you to progress. That kind of food is categorized as tamas. So what is good for a life? Sattva. Sattva is one which helps you for the balanced life. So let's quickly get into what are all the guidelines we have. What are all the guidelines we have to adopt for the sattva? Sattva means purity. So we know what is sattva food, which Krishna has explained to Arjuna. So we are quickly get into what is the guidelines of sattva which we have to adopt in our day-to-day life. As sattva, I'm going little faster. So sattva diet is one. It is full of nutrition. And if you take sattva diet, it contains the whole grains. Okay, it should be the whole grains. It is not polished or it is not broken. It is not like that. It should be whole grain. Then the grains is considered as the sattvic diet. And all these pulses, legumes, beans, everything comes under the sattvic diet. Okay, and the nuts. Okay, cashews, walnuts, almonds. But important point, it shouldn't be roasted, not salted. As it is giving in flights and other where, no, it is not, it is deeply salted. It is not like that. It has to be taken in raw. It is to have the maximum benefit of it. If it is soaked in night and if you have it in the morning, you will have the maximum benefit of it. It turns into complete sattvic as it balances the pH. We'll see what is pH. And the seeds. All these seeds comes under the sattvic diet. Sunflower, flax seeds, we have different seeds available in today's market. And again, the important point is not salted and roasted. Honey, the sugar, which is very, very important. The natural honey which is available, it considered as a sattvic diet and the jaggery. So honey is one of the main component of yogic diet. So it nourishes the body. It brings you a lot of it purifies your genetic level. It purifies your body and mind. So honey is one of the very natural sources, and it has to be taken in a daily basis. You can take it in a daily basis, and just check that if you are getting it in a natural form, pure form honey if you are getting. Okay, that is about the honey sweet. And all these spices, which is very, very important. Taking all these spices in mixture in day-to-day life. In Indian cooking, we have all these spices. We know that turmeric, which is an important, very, very important aspect in the sattvic diet. Ginger, cardamom, fenugreek, tulasi, and salt. All this comes under the sattvic diet. Okay, and let's look into the guidelines of sattvic diet. So what are the guidelines? We have 8 guidelines to maintain the sattvic diet. Let's see what were those. The first and very first guideline is try to be vegetarian. Okay, because especially nowadays, the animals are not treated in the way they are supposed to treat. It has been slaughtered, and it has been tortured, and it has been gone through various physical and mental problems, and then it is coming to the plate, which is not good for your body and as well as for the mind. Okay, even consuming the milk from that type of animals, and it is not good. Milk is a good source. According to Ayurveda, milk is a good source. If the animal has been treated in the way it has to be in a natural way, then you are having that milk, it is good for you. But it is not the hormone injected, and it is kept in captivity, which is not going to help. Okay, it is not going to help our body and mind. So try to be vegetarian. It is the first and simple guideline for the sattvic diet. And next, and also I forgot to explain, and also it is told in the Manu Smriti, it is an Indian scripture. So it is told that how much importance is eating the sattva diet, and it helps you to eradicate your karma. Okay, so it is that much importance we have it in the sattvic diet. And next comes the eating in moderation. So we have seen enough what is mitahara. So eat only to 80% of your stomach. Leave 20% of your stomach empty. That is called as eating in moderation. So eat 10 to 30% less than your, we have seen what is TDE in detail. So less than your TDE, it is always good. Okay. And next is eat mostly the raw foods, whichever is available in a raw form. Try to include the raw food, like the vegetables, even the fruits, you will have it in a raw form. Even the vegetables, try to have whatever you can have it in a raw form with minimal of cooking. So if you have it, so it will give you the good nourishment. It is one of the important guidelines to follow in sattvic diet. And the nuts and other things, there is lot of sources. You need not to cook actually. So I think this point will be, most of the ladies will be happy if, here to this point actually. We can have one meal day without cooking. Without cooking, we can have the diet 1 meal a day at least, involving lot of natural diet. So at the end of the class, if we have time, I also explain how you can eat without cooking. Okay, I'll share a few recipes. And next is cook food on low to medium heat, which is very, very important. So you shouldn't cook food in a high flame. And the vessels what you eat is also very important. Don't use any non-stick and other vessels. So use only the natural. Okay, my audio is okay.
Yes, madam.
My audio is okay.
It is clear, ma'am.
Audible, ma'am.
Audible? Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So use only the, just give me a minute. Low cook food, cook food on a low to medium heat. So don't turn your stove into the high flame, because you will lose all the nutrients in the food. So the food has to be cooked in very low flame. Okay, then you will get the benefits of the nutrients. So it is even told in many research papers, we'll see. So because we have the enzymes in our body, like amylase, and there are many enzymes, lipase like that. where it helps you to break our macronutrients, isn't it? Helps you to break the enzymes will help you to break the macronutrients. So what happens? You will lose all the enzymes. So when you do the overcooking, okay, so that the enzymes will not help you to get the nutrition, to make the nutrition which is benefit for your body. So even there is a papers, research papers, which is told that how you have an impact if you eat the food which is in a raw form, or it is in a cooked form, and it is in a overcooked form. So if you look at this data, it is told that the pepper has lost their nutrients after 5 minutes. 35% lost after 15 minutes. 30 minutes of cooking, it has lost to this much of value it has got lost. It is for every and each food. Okay, it loses nutrients. The more you cook, okay, the more nutrients in that food get lost. So don't do overcooking. So if it is pleasant to eat, if it is okay to eat, please stop there. And also it is good for your teeth. You will not get any dental problems, isn't it? So try to have a semi-boiled food in the sense, not all the food, vegetables and other things, where you wanted to gain the nutrients out of it. Good. And the principle 8, what is the sattvic principle? Sorry, fifth. The fifth is eat only fresh foods available. Don't eat any leftover foods. Okay, eat only freshly available food. So if you take freshly available food, for the fruits and vegetables, there are seasonal fruits and vegetables which is available in our local market. So you can check these websites, okay, for which foods it is available in the local market on which season, irrespective of your country, wherever you stay. Okay, there is another website. So if you see this, so it will give you the information of the local and seasonal food which is available in your country. So as you all know that, if at all you have a doubt of what is the seasonal food available in my country now, you can just log into this and you can just say, check. So which is very, very important, having the local and seasonal food locally available. What is available to your country? What is available to your state? So don't sit here and have the kiwi which grows in somewhere else. Keep guava, which is an Indian fruit, which is locally available, isn't it? So have more seasonal fruits, whatever it is available with your local source. So based on the soil, based on the atmosphere, based on their people lives there only, the universe promotes that types of food, isn't it? So it is always safe to have only those type of seasonal foods. And the guideline 7, eat minimally processed and refined foods. I'll say no to refined foods, because what happens, the more we refine, okay, the more we process, it loses its nutrition. So if you take it as the wheat grain, the more processed it becomes, it is the outer layer, it is called as the bran, which protects the which contains all fiber which is required for that grain. So while we process and polish more, all this fiber content will be removed and will be taken out of that grain. And what we remind is only the inner part. So where we will not have that much of minerals and vitamins, what it is, and also the fiber which is not adequate. So try to minimize the processed food. Try to have lot of unprocessed food. Try to take it from the local available sources and have the unprocessed food. And try to have the brown rice where the glycemic index is more great. So try to see what are all the products where you have the glycemic index which is less, so which is good for to balance your insulin level. Okay, insulin level. So white rice is having more glycemic index, so brown rice will have the less glycemic index, which helps you to balance your insulin level, and also it helps you to get rid of many diseases. Actually, it will help. And also brown rice is full of fiber. So even for children, we can give the brown rice. Okay, so that is about. And the 8th important principle, very, very important, is mindful eating. You have to eat mindfully what you are eating. So don't eat food by talking to someone. with watching television. Okay, so you should know why you are eating this. Are you hungry? Okay, when you are eating this, at wrong time, right time, at midnight I'm eating. So you should know. And what you are eating, what food you are eating. Someone is giving you in the plate and just having by seeing the television, it is not going to benefit you. It induces the tamasic quality in you. And how much you are eating, where you, all these factors are important. So this is the difference between mindless and mindful eating. So this is the important point which I have highlighted. When eating, just eat. Okay, don't do any other things. When you are eating, just eat. Okay, so this is about, so we have seen about the sattvic diet, and about, if you see about the rajasic diet, all these involving onions, garlics, pepper, asafoetida, a lot of things in our food, especially in South Indian. I know in Indian food, I will not tell it as South Indian. Indian food will have lot of use, lot of onions, garlics, and other things. This is not a sattvic diet. This is a rajasic diet. Okay, so we have to try to avoid all these foods, how much ever you can. So try to keep the onions and garlic minimum. So totally we cannot avoid. So you can keep it to minimum. Then you will have the benefits. So if at all you wanted like a good, if at all, see, there is a way how to use the onion and garlic. Onion and garlic it actually a medicine. Okay, so if it is taken in a right way, you will have a good impact on good benefits for your body, and as well as for the pepper and other things. So don't overcook. If you eat anything which is overcooked in a high flame, that is rajasic. Okay, so don't try to avoid all. So now the barbecue, smoked dishes are very famous, high flame dishes. So please try to avoid, because it induces the rajasic guna in you. And next is, so of course we have spoken about how animals has been treated. Please try to avoid. Please try to stick the vegetarian, because having this type of food induces the rajasic guna in you. Okay, because it is not treated the way it has to be. It is being tortured. So try to avoid. And let's quickly look into what is tamasic. Tamasic are the food which don't have a pranic energy in it. Okay, so there are food which is the prana energy in it. So as the universe is made up of prana everywhere around us, in our, as how we are having the prana, each flower, each fruit, each vegetable has the prana in it. So some foods are high in prana, some foods are low in prana. So the tamasic nature will come if you have the negative prana, and if you have the negative prana food, it will induces the tamasic guna. What are all the negative prana? Again, it is garlic, onion, asafoetida, chili, eggplant, coffee, tea. All this comes under negative prana. There is no prana in that food. And what is positive prana? The foods which have all the naturally grown, seasonally grown, it is considered positive prana. Okay, so the mainly ash gourd. Ash gourd is one of the food which has got the high pranic food. Hope you all know ash gourd, which is nothing but pusinika. Okay, the white pusinika. Okay, that is the ash gourd. I don't know how to translate in Hindi. In Tamil, it is usually called as pusinika. So as I told you, honey, coconut, and everything, it has a positive pranic. So try to stick to positive pranic. So if you switch to negative and neutral pranic food, it will induces the tamasic guna in you. So try to avoid. And next is, I'm going little faster. So as we are coming closer to the time. Okay, and what are all the, all the Panchabhutas, Prithvi, Jala, Agni, Vayu, and Akash. So we have seen the gunas. So let's see how our body is categorized into doshas. According to Ayurveda, our body is categorized into three dosha, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Okay, so let's see what is this. So the combination of air and space element is called as Vata dosha. Fire and water element is called as Pitta. Earth and water element is called as Kapha dosha. Okay, all these combinations. Okay, it is called as Vata, Pitta, and Kapha dosha. So Vata means the air element is dominant in you. Okay, Pitta means the heat element. Though it is a combination, but usually it is stainless. Pitta means the heat element is dominant in you. Kapha means the water element. The water element is dominant in you, which is called as Kapha dosha. So according to Ayurveda, our body has been categorized into 3 doshas. So according to 3 doshas, also the whatever the problems we get, the diseases we get in our body, everything it is based upon the 3 dosha. If we have the balance in our dosha, okay, all the doshas, if we have the balance in our doshas, and we will eradicate our disease. If there is an imbalance in any dosha, you will have the diseases associated with that. So we should always try to balance the dosha in us. So if you see Vata dosha, if it is in a balanced state, you will be active. So there are many, I'm just highlighting important things. So usually the Vata person will be thin, creative, vibrant, imaginative, like that. If it is an unbalanced state, what happened? You will struggle to gain weight because the persons will be thin always. He will be the one who is having a lot of anxiety and other things. And here I have given what are all the dietary and lifestyle changes you have to do to balance the Vata dosha. And next is Pitta dosha. Again, Pitta is the person whose, what element I told you? Pitta is for the heat. So the heat element is dominant in that person. So obviously what happens if it is an unbalanced state, he will get all the ulcers and no acidity problem, and he will get more of anger and other things, and many problems he will get in Pitta dosha. So the person body will be always heat. So we have to do the lifestyle modification and dietary changes and how to balance the Pitta dosha. And next is Kapha. Kapha means what? I told you the water element is high in that type of person. So always the Kapha person will be little stout and they will a little solid, not muscle, but there is a lot of water content in their body. Hope you can imagine so how the person looks like. So always they tend to be very, chill. They will be easily attracted to respiratory disorders. Okay, they will be this person will be very introverted person like that. So for each dosha we have the psychological and physiological differences we have in each dosha. Okay, so like that, according to dosha, the personality changes. So we have to do the lifestyle modification and the dietary modification to balance each dosha. So this is a quick chart about how the tamasic brain will be. The tamasic brain will have the dominant Kapha, Pitta also dominant, Vata will be low. A Sattvic will have balance in Kapha and Pitta and Vata also. Okay, in Rajasic brain, the Kapha will be low, the Pitta will be dominant. Pitta means what? Heat. So always the person will be dominant and he will be very enthu, and he wanted to he will be doing multitasking things. He wanted to in one time he wanted to do 10 things. Why? Because the Pitta dosha is high in that person, isn't it? So he obviously the guna changes. So according to the doshas, the gunas, the changes, the state of our mind state changes according to the guna. It is why? Because according to the food what we take, our dosha changes. According to our dosha, our guna changes. Okay. So I have given a few sites. It is an Ayurveda sites. So I will put it in chat box. So this you can test which dosha you belong to. Okay, which dosha, which type of person you are, which dosha. There is a test. So which is a few questionnaires they will be asking. You have to check and they will tell you which dosha you belong to. That type of modifications, lifetime modifications and dietary changes you can do. And I'm just skipping this slide because I think there is time up. Bala, can I continue?
Ma, and the link மட்டும் share பண்ணிட்டு நீங்க போய் பாருங்க.
Okay.
Madam, if possible, please continue, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
Ma'am, we have a program at 10:15. So
10.
We can spend 5 minutes for it.
5 minutes I'll complete. So this is a food chart which tells about the acidic, alkaline, and this is a pH scale. Okay, when your pH is in 7, it is considered as a neutral. Okay, it goes beyond, it is called as alkaline. Okay, when it is go beyond, it is called as acidic. When it go lesser, it is called as alkaline. So we have to maintain our food. okay, in the state of neutral. Okay, here I have listed few foods which is gives you the neutral, which maintains our body in neutral. Unprocessed, dry fruits, spices, freshness. Usually it is a sattvic diet. See, the modern science is also so close to the tradition. So now we came to the conclusion, isn't it? Whatever the modern science tells, the yogic diet also tells the same. So the neutral food, the pH scale which is neutral, it is called as a sattvic diet. Okay. Okay, and Swami Swatmarama says, Atyaharaha prayasacha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangacha laulyamcha shaddhar viryo vinashyati. The very first point he tells, Atyahara, that is overeating. If you eat too much, that is the obstacle in yoga. Yoga means for whatever sadhana you do, whatever goals you have it in your life. Okay, the very first point is atyahara. That means if you are overeating, we have seen mitahara. Atyahara means we are overeating. If you eat too much, then you cannot progress in your life. So Swami Swatmarama says. Okay, and there are many other things also, which is 6 actually: atyahara, prayasacha, prajalpo, niyamagraha, janasangyacha, laulyamcha. So if we have chance further, we'll discuss in detail each point. For now, it is satyahara, which is overeating. If you eat over, so you cannot progress in your life. So that is Swatmarama says. And the fasting, very, very important concept when you take yogic diet. So there is lot of importance of fasting. Okay, in Hindu tradition, we have a day for fasting, which is nothing but Ekadasi, which is the 11th day. Eka means 11th day. So if you try to fast on those days, which comes under 2 times in your month. Okay, so there is lot of calendars available in the website. So you can just check. So it comes under 2 times in your month. So if you fast on those days, and there are many points how to fast. If at all you are hungry, what food you have to taste, everything it is self-explanatory. It is there in the websites also. You can just check the ISKCON and other many websites we have. So the importance of fasting on Ekadasi. So there is a lot of benefits. So if you want to eradicate in many of the diseases, and the main important thing is that you have to fast. So if you fast, the natural healing happens in our body, and you will come out of the disturbances which is occurred in the mental and the physical level. So the importance of fasting is highly recommended in yogic diet. And one general thing I have to tell here, which is nothing but the Ayurveda Trifla Churnam. The Trifla Churnam is one, it is available in all the stores. So it is a mixture of amla, and there is a herb called Dibihitaki and Haritaki. So each herb is associated with each dosha. Okay, we have discussed all the doshas.
Viju, bravo for 10.
So it helps. I think someone is in unmute. Okay. It helps. Yeah, thank you. So it helps you to balance all the doshas. So everyone can take the Trifala. It is like a general medicine. So I thought it would be useful for you if I share this information. So everyone can use this irrespective of their whatever diseases you are having, and whatever the problems they are having is associated with the body and mind. So they can use it. So you will feel the good benefits if you use it continuously. This is called as one of the best medicine in Ayurveda. So there is no restriction. This person cannot use, that person cannot use, this diseases cannot use. So it is not like that. Everyone can use this medicine. And yeah, it is one of the great medicine for the weight loss also, because I usually get daily one person asking me to give suggestions for the weight loss. So because it is one of the thing which is it is kind of trauma which is having in this current scenario, everyone is asking for the weight loss. So as I told you, maintain the food which is less than your TDE. That is the one important thing, and do fasting. And with supplementary, take this Trifla. Okay, it is one which promotes you for the weight loss. And offer the food to God. Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavi, Brahmagnu, Brahmanahutam, Brahmaivatela Gantavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhina. Which means you have to pray to everyone, whoever brings the food which comes in front of your plate. It is not so simple. It is not just like that coming in front of your plate. It is coming with so much effort. Each plant, each seed is putting its efforts to come up to grow, isn't it? And the farmers taking so much effort. So just pray everyone and wish everyone, consider everyone in your mind, and who prepares the food, thank them. Okay, whoever preparing the food, thank them. And whoever sitting along with you and eating, smile at them and look with love and have with love and affection. So that is what this sloka tells. It is from the Bhagavad Gita. And I have given a sample, a meal. So how your plate should look like. So this is contains brown rice, ragi mudde, and the curry, and which is the protein, fruit, and everything it has come. It is a sample, a small sample diet plate which I have given it as a picture. So try to follow this. Okay, it completes the diet. Okay, balanced diet. And aham annam, it is from the Atharva Veda. We are what we eat. Okay, so your mind and body is what you eat. Okay, so your life is what you eat. So be mindful about what you eat. And this is the references which I have taken to prepare this slides. And Hari Om, thank you to all. Listening to my lecture so long, patiently. Thank you. Over to you. Over to Balamurali sir.
Thank you, Lalitha. That was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Vandanaji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Great class, ma'am. So informative. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Can we close the session or any questions?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Hari Om,
much.
Priya.
Excellent, Lalitha.
Thank you.
Super.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for your valuable.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, this recording where you will post, ma'am?
We will be posting in the group, ma'am. If you are part of the WhatsApp group, we will be posting all the recordings.
Yeah, I'm there in the group. So
Yeah,
please,
we will
sir.
post it. We will post it.
Thank you so much, sir.